Welcome to my November review. We start this month with Mars in retrograde motion. Now, while the planet's retrograde, we can still work with the energy. Mars being in your 6th house is a good time to look at your health, your diet, your exercise, your regimes, and see where you can make changes. It's also a good time to develop a good relationship with co-workers and to improve your working everyday environment. Now, this planet Mars is retrograde until the middle of January, so it's a good time to work with it. And also on the 1st we have coming together of Pallas Athena, the asteroid, and the Black Moon Lilith. Now these two are very strong feminine influences, and these are in your 7th house. This is the house of relationships. So with Pallas there, you can look and see the patterns of your relationships, and it's useful because Pallas in the 7th is other people that can help you see these patterns and develop a strategy to make relationships more rewarding. This month we have the Sun, Mercury and Venus all together travelling through your 11th house and the sign of Scorpio. So it's a very intense period, and the 11th house is about networking and getting new connections, making friends, and also it's about setting new aims and goals for the future. Now, opposing this we have the North Node and Uranus. This is in the 5th house. So there's a draw away from the familiar and what may be quite happy for you to be involved in this 11th house activities, but the North Node will draw you away from that. Try and get you to express yourself in a different way, more creatively, and use your creative talents. And there'll be events that happen, sudden events with Uranus, with this opposition, that will bring things to the fore. Events that will change things, change perhaps your idea or your way of thinking, or even change your situation. Now this is going on between the 2nd and the 7th, and it's a very interesting time because there's a lot of, we have what we call a stellium in that 11th house. And when we have a stellium, it's a very powerful configuration. Also on the 7th we have Venus making a square to Saturn. This is a great time to evaluate and to examine where you are and what you need to be doing or what you'd like to be doing for the future. On the 8th we have our full moon lunar eclipse, and guess what? The full moon is in Taurus, the opposition to the stellium in the 11th house. So this adds more power, more dynamics to this opposition. And you may feel at some points over the next couple of years you've been pulled in two directions and you're not sure which way to go. But the eclipse will bring a lot of power, a lot of energy to that 5th house area, and that's the area of love. So it could be a time when you want to express your love to someone, whether you're in a relationship and you wish to deepen that love and connection, or whether it's someone new who you'd like to form a love relationship with. So beware of sudden events again. Anything can happen under this eclipse, and it's very good for putting energy into group endeavours. So 5th house of socialising would be good if you can connect with people in that area. But also remember the 11th house, you have to balance the 11th and the 5th house. So it's very much about balance, this full moon, because there's so many planets involved here. And with these houses, it's about freedom and closeness. How close do you get to someone? How much freedom do you need in relationships? This is something that you'll need to work out over the next couple of weeks. On the 10th we have the Sun and Mercury making that square to Saturn. Saturn's in that 2nd house. It's a good time to examine finances. It's not a good time for communicating and talking to friends. It's a better day to perhaps spend on your own. If there are any communications, then it could be that friends need help, because Venus makes a trine, grand trine with Neptune and the Black Moon Lilith. So this is a time when you may be that shoulder to cry on. So it's about listening for you, not about talking. And then on the 13th, Mercury makes that same aspect, so there may be more conversations with friends that need things to be sorted, but you'll be more likely to talk and express yourself under this one. And then the final aspect on the 13th is between Venus and Pluto. Now Pluto is in your 1st house, as you know, and this is a very powerful aspect. It's very intense emotions, very deep emotional connections can be made with friends and colleagues at this time. On the 14th, the Sun makes the Grand Trine. So it's a good time to take stock of where you are and also look at the spiritual side of life. You may want to involve yourself with groups or friends that are more spiritually inclined. Then on the 15th, we have a coming together of Venus and Mercury. Now this is still in your 11th house, so it's a good time to communicate and have fun, socialise with friends, but it is going to move into the 12th house on the 19th. And they will stay together until the 25th. So there's a pair when these two are together. But when it moves into the 12th house, you're going to be more withdrawn. You're going to want to move away from the social scene a bit and maybe contemplate more and think about the situation. Because in a month's time, they will move into your sign of Capricorn, and then there'll be a lot of energy, a lot of concentration on you and development yourself. Sun makes two positive aspects. First on the 18th is to Pluto. That's a good time to seize the opportunity and make any changes and transformations to yourself that you would feel you're ready to make. Do it now because the Sun will be moving into the 12th house shortly, and then there will be a period of quiet before he comes into your sign. The other aspect on the 20th is from the Sun to Jupiter. Jupiter, Sun is probably the best aspect you're going to get. This is great for finance, anything legal because it's in your 7th house, and it's great for communicating, doing paperwork, commerce, anything virtually goes well under this trend, so you need to make the most of this day. On the 23rd we have our new moon. This is in Sagittarius, so it's in your 12th house. Now it's a very powerful new moon because it's 1 degree. So it will cause you a little bit of emotional turmoil within, because once the new moon's in the 12th house, it tends you to withdraw, like we were saying with the other two planets. Planets in the 12th house don't operate freely. They tend to go within. So it's a good time to work on any unconscious issues you have and work with the psyche and develop the spiritual side as well. Meditate, all those type of things. It's very good for that. But it's a time of recharging your batteries. It's a time of allowing yourself to see where you are in readiness for next month when the new moon will be in your sign, and this will be very much energized, very much busy few weeks. But for now, the next couple of weeks, take things easy, recharge your batteries, and just contemplate where you are at this moment in time, anything you want to change going forward, and get ready for the future. On the 25th, Venus and Mercury make an aspect to Chiron. Chiron's in the 4th house. This is the house of home and family, so it's a good time to heal any wounds or any rifts within the family, or from the past as well, because 4th house is also about that past. Then on the 25th we have Mars, remember, who's retrograde, making an aspect to Saturn. So this is time to work behind the scenes again. There's a lot of that this month, but you just have to keep plugging away, keep planning, keep reorganising, keep preparing yourself for not only next month when the Sun's in your sign, but also in January when Mars goes direct again. And to finish the month we have Mercury making an aspect to Mars and Saturn, so more of the same. Just keep plugging away and do as much behind the scenes work as possible. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you next month.